now have a 501c3. That means we're a community-based organization. We're a nonprofit, but I like the word community-based organization. So that means that we are an organization that serves the community. So how this started, and you've heard a little bit about the center, but this particular thing that we are working on this year is called Indiana County Thrives. And the reason we got some money to do this initiative is because we are a coal company. Thank you. Thanks, Christina.
Oh, I'm sorry.
You're welcome. Excuse me. We got some money to. We are a coal community, and through the Biden-Harris administration, the Inflation Reduction Act was passed. That is the America's largest climate change bill passed in its history, and it is a bill that is focusing a lot of dollars, billions and billions of dollars, into coal communities. That's a community where coal and fossil fuel industry has been the economic driver, but it is on the decline, as you might know, and the power plant in Homer City has already closed, and there are two other coal-fired power plants that are slated to close. So you can imagine that has a huge impact on the community, on their economics, on their workforce, on housing, on schools, on every part of the community. That the closure of that power plant and the loss of those coal jobs is significant. So this money is here to help coal communities and organizations build their capacity, their ability to help these communities. So we have this initiative called Indiana County Thrives, and we have hired a coordinator to help do some meetings, and the first meeting is actually in Homer City on November 18th. So this is all about the community talking about what they want their future to look like.
Is that open to the public, or is that what?
It's meant for Homer City and Center Township.
That's where I'm from.
Well then,
I'm Alexa Rossi. I met you through Misty.
Oh yeah. Okay, that's right. I knew.
I was just wondering if it was open to the community, or because I heard that there were people that were suggested for this group.
Yeah,
so,
I mean it is meant to be a group of, well, I don't want to say private, but it's kind of a group that's been selected to talk about these things. But if you're really interested, please, we'll make sure you get all the details. And I think Misty is going to be there.
She is, yes. Yeah. She was suggested as part of that group, but Amanda and I are also from Homer City. So
I was
Homer City Community Garden.
But I have a child with special needs, so it's really hard for me to get involved, but also I want to be involved. So.
Well, there may be other ways to contribute to this effort. So we can talk about that for sure.
Okay. Yeah, but I know that they were. Remind me of that. We sat at the same table at the racial.
Yeah.
Who was the
Oh my gosh.
Jonathan.
Oh, Jonathan.
And that's who. Jonathan
Yeah,
Smith. Yeah, that's who it was. I have to remember. Yeah. But yeah, he reached out to me about it as well, and I think it's amazing that's happening.
With the new administration, we don't know exactly what the landscape is going to look like, but we have to believe that the money is still going to be invested. That's what we're going to go with. I mean, these are communities that have been disinvested in for many decades.
I wanted to ask you, I read in the paper, I should have brought the article with me, about there's a grant that's come from the state, from the governor, to build a gas pipeline from the Homer City plant to some connector in Blairsville. Is that correct?
That is correct.
And then, so can you tell me, do you know more about that?
I don't know much. It's the idea is for it to use natural gas to generate electricity. So that's what we have here. In fact, that's why it's not necessarily environmental regulations that kill power plants. It is really that natural gas has become so cheap that coal is too expensive to use as the driver of these plants.
But I don't understand why they're building the pipeline from that plant to. Why do you know why they're doing that?
I do not.
Because when I was at Planet Earth, I took a tour this summer, and they said there was fracking above them in that area. Is that why you're going to frack? Or, I just
I've
don't
not
know.
heard that, but I don't know. I
okay.
honestly, these are. It's not like they call.
There's a lot of fracking in Indiana County.
Yes, there is.
You can see it on Frack Tracker.
Yeah, is that still going? Frack Track?
Yeah.
Okay.
Is it?
Okay.
I didn't know that.
You can look it up on frack.
Yeah, they have a map showing where all the fracking places are. I mean, Cambria County doesn't have a lot of fracking, but Indiana and Westmoreland
Yeah, it's
does.
got a good bit. Yeah, and it's so cheap. I mean, there's just a glut of natural gas.
I mean, it's very hard to say no to fracking for a lot of folks.
It is. So as you might imagine, there's been a lot of loss of jobs. You know that, and the idea, how are we going to replace those jobs? You know, tourism, solar industry. We may get some manufacturing plants. We may not. It's hard to replace those jobs one to one because they were such well-paying jobs. So it's up to the idea is the community is part of the discussion. Has a voice. There's a lot, like to your point, there's a lot of unknowns, and this is a private, this is private equity that owns the power plant. They're under no obligation to tell anybody anything. To be honest, we're hoping that they will, want to be part of the community and in sincere ways.
And what's happening now with them deconstructing? Like, does anyone know how safe that is?
That is a very good question. I don't know. I'm sure there's some kind of guidelines that they need to follow, but we all saw what happened, and I think was at Cheswick, where things went wrong, and it was kind of a disaster. But that's what I mean. The folks in the community should be raising those questions and can raise those questions, and there are resources that can help with that. So the idea is not to compete with the existing economic development efforts and so on. It's to be a partner, but to be a bottom-up kind of approach. And we want them to invest in the community, and not just a playground, right? We want sincere and substantive investments in the community for this generation, for future generations. So that is what's happening now. We also have a Department of Energy grant that will help do this kind of initiative in the Keystone Conemaugh and the Seward power plant areas down in the southeastern part of the county. So it's been a very difficult number of decades for regions in western Pennsylvania, north and northeastern Pennsylvania. But this is finally some real investment, and also the federal agencies are paying attention. They're not just phoning it in; like they're actually visiting. All good stuff. So yeah, if you want to, please, let's keep in touch, and there's many things that can be done now and in the future.
Tickets are ready. Tickets ready.
Okay, well, it was nice meeting you.
It's available online. Did we put it? Is this available online? Brandon, is this budget available online? Is there a link to this somewhere? We're gonna put that right up on the website. I'm in an awkward position to ask you for a vote on this budget for 2025. I want to say budgets are important. They're important blueprints. We are on the line for a number, on the hook for a number of these projects in terms of deliverables. So we'll need to spend this money. This is an aggressive budget. This allows us to expand. Budgets are blueprints. If weird things happen at the federal level, it's not impossible that the Department of Energy grant, they claw that back. We have money in our account for that, but it's not impossible that gets clawed back. It's not impossible that federal funding that we've been expecting for the last year is significantly dried up, and we need to change this budget. And our board, our new board that we're going to elect here is going to have to think about that. So a budget is a blueprint. It is a statement of our values. We're valuing investing in some real capacity. We need we need a head person. We need an executive director. I know you all love me, but I would love somebody who is getting paid full time to do this work. And we are at a position that we desperately need that. That's been one of the focuses. So that's a big piece for us to hire that. And then the rest of it is supporting that kind of stuff. So really putting us from an organization that's been Grad Tech Group to we're a $250,000 organization. So I think I need to ask from our membership for a motion to approve this budget.
I second.
So you're the motion, and I need a second from any of the membership. Thank you, second. So then there's a discussion. I can open the floor for discussion. I can answer as many questions as I can, depending on my board members to help me out. In teaching, you're supposed to ask 7 seconds, but right now I'm not going to wait 7 seconds.
What do you want to talk about?
No, I don't want to talk about it. So hearing none, I'll even give another couple minutes.
A motion for a vote?
Okay. So you're calling the question. The motion is to pass this budget. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Great. So we don't need a roll call. So this budget passes. Take a look at it. It is a blueprint. When we wrote this, literally like 2 weeks ago, we're like, yes, this is definitely happening. Last week happened, and it's up in the air, but it's something we'll attack from there. Fantastic, thank you. That's your first vote as a membership in the 2025 membership. Congratulations. Nice work, nice work. It is a very big deal. I can't tell you how long it took us to figure out how we can come up with an executive director. Are we ready for balance? Are we ready to pass out balance?
Like 3, 4, and 6, so feels like
So I can tell you our next steps. This board that's formed right now, we have plans for this board to come together in December and to do a board retreat, to take a whole day. We've done it in different spots before, and really think about what's our strategic direction. I think the conversations that happen here in terms of what our priorities are incredibly valuable, and lots of times folks are like, well, it's just flip chart paper. These are the things that guide this new board to what we do. Clearly, lots of big decisions need to be made still. There's lots of fiduciary responsibility that's got to happen. But this meeting matters, and that's what happens with these things. So we're excited about that. We're hiring. This executive director position is really exciting. I think we just advertised for it. We're looking for somebody who has some executive experience, also some community organizing experience, folks that are in the community, know how to talk to people. We have a lot of folks that are pretty good at sort of the policy and the wonky stuff. We really need folks that can go into the community and talk to folks. Hoping for a competitive salary. It's one of these things that we have definite funding for next year, so you really have to want the mission, because there's no question about funding.
So,
right. Yeah,
so
right.
we don't have a
right.
deadline.
There's no deadline for that.
That's kind of a rolling deadline.
Yeah.
So, do you want to explain how the voting will work?
Go ahead, explain it. You explain it, yes. Come explain it, Sheree.
Okay.
I'm not sure.
So we will have a ballot. I'm not sure exactly how many names are on there at the moment, but the bylaws call for 10 members. So as a member, and we're again counting on you to know whether you're a member or not, you will vote for 10. You will select 10. Just a tick mark, check mark, whatever it is. The top 10, and so you'll have to give us a little time, the top 10 will be those 10 board members. There are no positions going to be established. That happens at a later time.
We'll know those results today.
We will know. It may take us a while.
If there's anybody in this county that can get those things voted, get those things counted by today, it's going to be.
We do have several people. So, any questions?
I do have a question. For those of us that are getting put on the ballot that you might not know, do you want introductions or anything about us?
Sure.
So I'm Jerry-Ann Wagner. I moved here to Indiana, Pennsylvania 13 years ago when I got clean from my heroin addiction. I have been clean for 12 years. I have served on the Recovery Center board. I've worked with the Alice Paul House. I'm extremely passionate in creating safe spaces for women to take up space, working with the LGBTQ community. And I don't know, I'm from Baltimore actually, and I come here, it's a little bit of a culture shock to me. And this election naturally broke my heart. So I was like, I just wanted to get involved on a local community level and make an impact where it will really benefit me, my kids, and their upbringing as well. So, yeah, it's nice to meet you all.
Very good, very good.
Who else wants to go? Oh, you want me to go? Go ahead. Hi, sorry, I'm holding a baby, so I can't stand up right now. Okay. And I hope me talking won't wake her up. My name's Danielle. I went to IUP, so I was here, almost 20 years ago. I came back a couple of years ago. I went to IUP for accounting. So I've worked for a variety of organizations, including nonprofits. I'm currently a senior director of operations. I'm on a few different boards in different roles, kind of coming on and off some of them. Some for empowering women, some for LGBTQ, some specific industry things. I do work for Comcast and I'm in construction, so I do deal a lot with a lot of the rural broadband and various projects that are really important to counties and areas like ours. I'm specifically in that sector of things as well. So kind of interesting sort of corporate side, but also like a lot of passion about equity and when it comes to a lot of modernization and services, how important they are for a lot of our rural areas. That's me.
Thank you. All right. Do we want to do a reintroduction of the existing board just in case?
Please.
Yeah, in case there are people, if you would bring up those names. And I'll start while G's doing that. I'm Shireen Hess. I think I know most of you, if not all of you. I'm a county commissioner in my 3rd term, and before that I worked in the environmental services area. I worked with farmers at the Department of Agriculture and water quality projects and air and soil health and a number of things over about a 25-year career. And now as a commissioner, I'm very interested in the types of things. I was very interested in this organization because I know that local government does a lot of good things, but the nonprofit, community-based sector is also a very vital part of a community. So I was very interested in helping to resurrect this organization and to help it do all the good work that it does. So enough about me.
I'm Gerald Smith. My name's Gerald Smith. I teach at the high school. I teach math for about 20 years. I did a lot of organizing. Took a break from teaching in the 2000s. Did a lot of organizing around the healthcare bill. Really focused on health equity, focused on racial disparities, and had been kind of organizing a lot here in Indiana since we moved here and served on the borough council for about 10 years. And yeah, I've been part of this organization. We sat around a table and we thought this community needs a left voice, a progressive voice, and so we tried to fill a need there, and so I'm excited to continue on.
Sarah put her name in. She's new too.
Oh, I
Did
have
you?
it, actually.
you
I don't really have any experience. I did want to ask if you normally talk over people or if you are more.
Let's
if
move
you,
on. Let's move on.
no,
We're doing board member introductions.
I
We'll
just
take
wanted
questions
to,
later.
Okay.
How about that? Questions later. Thank you.
Okay. Do you want to go?
Sure. I'm Tina Perdue. I have lived in Indiana since 1992. I taught at IUP in the English department for a lot of years. I don't remember how many. Retired about 10 years ago and got involved with the Center for Community Growth at about that time, a little bit before, and then shifted into the Indiana County Sustainable Economic Development Task Force, was really involved in getting that up and off the ground, involved in all the summits, just co-chaired the summit from last October along with Shireen, doing a lot of work in getting that together. So one of my passions is trying to leave a world for my grandkids and great nieces and nephews, so, and this is the work that I choose to do to make that happen.
Just gonna go down the list. There you are.
My name's Liz Cook, and I've been a member of the Center for Community Growth for about 10 years. We went to a meeting, my son and I, who was about, a teenager at the time, went to a meeting at the stage at the theater building, and just got involved with the board about 2.5 years ago, maybe. I've been retired. I'm a retired Spanish and English teacher, public high school, and my 3rd year of retirement. So I wanted to stay involved in the community, and so it's been very enlightening. It's a way to, you know, put back, you know. So that's my story. Thank you.
See Kyle back there.
Hello, everybody. Thank you for being here. My name is Kyle Mudry, and I'm from Somerset County initially, but I came here to Indiana in 2013 when I started IUP. Graduated in 2018, which I then became the Communications and Grants Coordinator for the borough, which I did for the last 5 years before this year. So I've worked on many grants, state grants, local grants, foundational grants, federal grants. I'm just trying to help the stormwater here in Marsh Run, the flooding, the RACP, the community center, or that nice, beautiful electric vehicle charger on the 8th Street parking lot, all the fun stuff. It was a good 5 years. But I then moved on to private sector, where I now work for an engineering firm. I do basically the same thing, but a couple more things in the financial realm for tons of townships, municipalities, authorities, and the cool part about my new job is I still actually get to live here, and so G and Shireen saw that they were reviving this board. They knew I was sticking around. They said, hey, please, can you please join our transition board? And I was like, I'd be honored to. So I've been helping the Trip Center for the last 12 months, and now here we are, and
You've showed up the money. You brought a grant to our attention that has been really helpful. So thank you.
Well, and I got another one tonight. We'll talk later. But yeah.
There's another one?
Nice to meet you all. Yeah, well, there's just released today actually. Yeah, it's an AmeriCorps grant, so we might be able to try to fund that AmeriCorps. You know, we were going to pay out of pocket, but maybe we can get.
So, Hilary, can you introduce yourself? Hilary Molina.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Hilario Molina. I am a professor at IUP. I'm a social demographer. I teach critical race theory. I recently joined this phenomenal committee. I was invited to be part of a panel conversation on the Appalachia transformation of demographic characteristics, and then, you know, G invited me. He's like, "Hey, Vato, join our committee." I'm like, "Okay," and so yeah, so I feel as though it's a great opportunity. We have a vision for the future, and so yeah. So yeah, that's me.
Brandon.
Hi, I'm Brendan Vick. I teach economics at IUP. I've been with the center for, I don't know, 2013 or 2014. I remember Gerald, Reverend Joan, and I went to visit Representative Dave Reed around 2015 to talk about raising the minimum wage. And of course we didn't get it done, but we tried, and it was a good conversation. So opening up the conversation, I remember we also started a program for people to use their food benefits at the farmers market. And we had our center banner up every Saturday at the farmers market, and people who would come with benefits, they'd get a token, so their benefits would go twice as far in the farmers market. And this year I've just been working, you know, we've gone from a group of individuals to a functioning organization. And my goal in that is whoever is part of this organization, we want to make it sustainable. And we've made we've put in a lot of work, and we've made a lot of headway this year. So I'm so enthused that we have so many people here. It's like the old days, but it's just growing. So thank you all for coming.
Do you have any defense?
There's a couple of folks. Dr. Broad was here, and lots of folks talked to him. And Sybil Peoples is not here. Folks may know her. She's a Indiana-born resident. She's a teacher. I teach her over at Eisenhower. We have featured her a number of times. She's always a voice of the Center for Community Growth. We have a couple of radio shows. We've done some webcasting. But she's a super strong voice, particularly in the Black community around Indiana. And so is a super strong member of our board, and also has a hard time finding a lot of time. So we're excited that she's here. Wants to be part of it, but I'm not surprised she's not here. So are we ready?
Did we get Peter?
Yeah, we talked about Peter. Peter's not here. He left already.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
We talked about him. So Peter, he probably introduced himself. Did he introduce himself? I think he did in this group. Judy. How did I skip Judy? Oh, this has happened twice. I don't know what's happening. I'm really sorry.
Okay, guys. Yeah, it's me, Judy Holiday. I was brought in and asked to be on the board way back at the beginning of the time when it started. So it was 2013.
Probably.
Okay. My husband was a coal miner. I'm the wife of a coal miner, now deceased coal miner. Was involved with United Mine Workers. Still try to continue to be involved as much as possible with United Mine Workers. Have been very involved with this community and want to see it thrive and grow, which is why it is important to keep these sort of things going. I've always been involved as a musician, but also as a seamstress, as a person who likes to do things very naturally and organically on my property, and along with the Appalachian Folk Festival, we're trying to make sure that people understand their Appalachian roots and also know how to grow from here. I have children, I have grandchildren, and I would like to know that this community, as well as this country, will not end up in the shitter. So there you go.
Okay.
We are ready to distribute the ballots, and let me just say, you can vote, first of all, only members, paid members, please. And you will be able to vote for 10. If you overvote by accident, your ballot will be thrown out. So please, 10. And you can just do a check mark, a tick, whatever works, so.
So we're ready.
Okay.
So we're going to distribute the ballots at this point?
Raise your hand if you are a member, and Gina will pass out a ballot. Thank you.
Here, let me help you, Tina.
Sorry, I'm not
Tina,
very
can I help you?
fast. Yes, if somebody would like to.
Give me half of those.
Here. No, but yeah, you have two.
All right, keep your hands up.
Might have eyeliner. No, I don't. I remember.